Hey, welcome back to From the Roots Up. Another episode tonight. We're happy to be back. It's been a few weeks. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But here we are in 2026, kind of in the final stretch of before the new season kicks off. But before we start, as we say every week, this is the podcast where we tell the story of Hickory FC season by season, only two, and this is the third, but match by match and trophy by trophy, as there's been quite a few this past season. Yeah. Before we start, though, I've got to thank Chris for the video, everything that he does, graphics and everything for us to make this possible. Really appreciate him for being involved with this. But let's get into who we've got today. Very special.
For a second, I thought you were going to forget the chronicling Hickory FC match by match, trophy by trophy. But today we have another very special guest, somebody who's been part of the club's foundation from the beginning, 2 seasons, 2 historic runs. Somebody who's a critical part of our back line for both of these seasons. Gentleman born in Argentina. He's had a very unique experience here. Played with his brother here. Had family traveling from Argentina to watch him all season long. Another guy who made this big jump, not across the pond, but up the pond, I guess, kind of. And now he is officially a Southeastern Conference champion, 2-time national champion. Today with us we have Martin Juanche Gomez.
Yay!
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me.
So if we can start let's just go back, and we do, I guess, for everybody that we talk to, where it all began. Argentina, the land of Messi and Maradona.
Yep. Well, everything started in Argentina a few years ago. Good, happy when I was a kid playing with my brother. Always everything related with soccer, since I'm a kid. And yeah, playing soccer since I have memory. So yeah.
Now, I think it's interesting because I don't know about you, but growing up here, I feel like we always see like clips and videos and in countries where soccer is so much more like a part of the culture, but it's always like the kids in the street. Yeah. It's like every day. Like, is that what your experience was like?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
what is it like every day after school? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, when growing up, we were like studying with the internet and stuff, so it was kind of new. So I was not at home, with the playing games, or we were all the time outside playing in the streets with my brother, with my friends. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 24/7 in the streets playing. Yeah. I think that's where it begins my love with the sport. When you're playing as a kid, like just with friends. Yeah.
And then the other thing too, I mean, like we've talked about all the other European countries, but I think especially in South America, I'm sure Argentina is the same. Like the culture is. I mean, we have football here, baseball, whatnot to kind of compare, but I feel like it's on another level almost. So like, what's the culture like? Is like, I imagine that's like all anyone ever talks about. It's like on all the TVs. Like, what's the culture like there? And then how does it compare to like the culture of soccer that we're seeing develop here? It's like it feels like it's growing, but it's obviously not quite there. So what's it like there, and how's it compare?
I don't know what is the reason behind that crazy passion back home. I don't know why. I don't know when it started, but it is like that. It's like the main thing. We talk 24/7 about soccer, football, and I don't know why it's like that, but I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad. Sometimes you can take it to the bad side, to get worried a lot about football, but yeah, I mean, it's like that since I have memory. My dad was like that, my grandfather was like that, so yeah, I hope it's still like that for the future, And yeah, related with here, yeah, I agree, here is growing a lot, honestly, I'm glad of that. It's growing a lot, but here you have another big sport like football, basketball. I think soccer is getting there. And well, maybe it's because of all the internationals that are coming to play here, or maybe here is just gaining, popularity and yeah. I'm excited. Well, and the World Cup is in a few months, so that's gonna help for sure. And yeah.
It's really interesting because it's so fascinating to watch it grow. Like, because how long ago did you move here?
This is gonna be my third year.
Yeah. Like having grown up in a house, like my father's Italian, so I grew up watching Serie A on Saturdays, Sundays, my whole life. And for me, it's like, and I mean, there's a few factors that play into it, but I grew up where I'm a Juventus fan, and until I was probably like 18, I don't think I ever saw a Juventus jersey, you know? I mean, you'd see occasional Manchester United, Real Madrid, never saw a Juventus jersey. Like I said, there's some factors, and, you know, getting Cristiano Ronaldo helps from like a marketing stage. But now, it's like you see jerseys, on all sorts of jerseys too. It's not just the big, I see like Borussia Dortmund jerseys, I see PSG jerseys, I see like all these jerseys. So it's crazy to watch it grow. And it'll be interesting to see, because I mean, when you think of society, there's only so much room to grow. I don't know if we'll ever reach Argentina's level, but how quickly it's growing, it's interesting.
Yeah, I actually saw a kid with a PSG shirt on at church the other day, which I was like, I've never seen anybody else wear football stuff other than me. So when I saw him, I was like, oh God, there's a kid with there's a shirt. It was really fun. But so with as emotional and intense as it is in Argentina, and I could say this, I mean, I feel like it's emotional and intense for me watching Hickory play, but and how, I guess, tactically savvy you are from a young age, because you're just immersed in it from a young age. How did that kind of shape you or form you as a defender? And had you always been a defender? Was that something that like you just started at? Or maybe you started somewhere else on the pitch and you just kind of landed there? Yeah,
mostly when you grow up, you just play. There's no positions. When you are a kid, you know, you just play. You maybe rotate. Sometimes you're a striker, sometimes a defender. And yeah, I don't remember exactly when I was like. Originally I was a midfielder, but then I started like going backwards. You know, left back, sometimes center back when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean, since I'm a kid, midfielder or defender. That was my only two options, and now I'm defender. But yeah, I mean, it's what I do the best, I think, to be like in defense,
I'm just imagining kind of in the streets of Argentina, Martin's there, everyone's trying to get by him, and he's just like a brick wall.
Nah.
Well, you know, and the funny thing is, I mean, I don't think anybody is as tall as G is.
Oh my gosh.
But I would say, like, and from watching you these past two seasons, it's like what you don't have height-wise, you make up for, like, physicality. Your physicality, I mean, nobody's getting by you, or if they are, they're going to get hurt doing it, which was fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to have, like, a tall guy next to you. Like me, I'm not that tall, you know. It's nice to have someone. We have Ivan the first year, tall guy, and now G. So when to have someone to bodyguard you, you know, when there's a problem.
And then what a bodyguard. What two bodyguards.
They're filtering the player database, and it's like over 6'5", and like, all right, I want that guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
No kidding. Now, coming off the streets of Argentina, where would you say your kind of football career started? And I guess you can maybe talk about, because we've talked to Harry about soccer in Wales and kind of all the other players, Ye about soccer in Spain. So talk about like your career in Argentina and like how does it work there? Like when do you join a team? If you're good, where do you go? If you're bad, where do you go? I don't know. Just talk about that.
I think my soccer football career started when I was probably starting high school. I was like 10, 11. And I decided to go to a club, like stop playing like just for fun and go to a club, like a serious club, like an academy. So yeah, I would say like probably 11, 10, and I started like playing like in the big field, like in 11, B11. And yeah, I played there like for 6, 7 years in this team until I went to Buenos Aires for college. But yeah, I started there playing with my brother and with Lucho. We share the same, Lucho Galici, we play the same team, but they are younger, but we were in the same team. So yeah, I would say like around 10, 11, I start playing like for real, if you want to say.
Yeah, and how do those opportunities like arise? Do they like scout you when you're playing in high school, or do you like think like, okay, maybe I'm good enough, I try out? Like how does that work?
Yeah, I remember I went to they were like kind of tryouts, you know, and we just went and we practiced, and they say, yeah, you can stay. And I remember we went with my brother. We both they decided that we both could stay in the team. And yeah, so it was like kind of a trial. We went because we hear that someone say like, hey, this team needs 10, 11 years old players. and yeah, and that's where we started. Yeah.
That's cool to play with your brother for so long.
Yeah.
But also to bring Lucho on that
Right.
you've been playing. I know he just joined us this past season, but
Yeah, we'll
to
see.
having known him for basically forever
Yeah.
and played with him forever, that's really cool
Yeah.
to see. But so I know as I mentioned before, as intense and as emotional and as the sport is so loved in Argentina, we have to know who your club is.
Yes.
If I'm sure you have one, but
Yes.
in Argentina.
Yes,
But-
my team is Boca Juniors.
Okay.
Yeah, big fan. I mean, I was a really, really big fan when I was a kid, high school, and now I'm more like, I'm an adult. I'm like more calm, but I'm still a big fan. Yeah, Boca Juniors, yeah.
So you're not like getting painting your face. And
Oh,
everything,
no.
like-
I enjoy watching the games, but that's it. Not that crazy, no.
Now, is that, I'm kind of curious, is it common in Argentina? Is that like a family thing, or is that like a region thing, or how does that
That's a
work?
good
Because I know
question.
that's huge with the Boca and River Plate. Like,
Yeah.
how's that?
Usually is you follow your family tradition. If your dad is let's say Boca Junior fan, you as a son, you are a Boca Junior fan. That's like what is happening usually. But for me it was different. My dad is from Huracan, it's another team, and when we had to pick a team, he didn't force us to pick the same team. You can do whatever you want. So my brother is from one team, I'm from another one. So we kind of choose by ourselves, but usually you follow your family tradition,
I bet that can really kind of split families if you've
Oh, yeah.
got a son going against his dad or mom or
Right.
whoever.
Yeah, but my dad is kind of not a big fan. It's like me now, When I was a kid, I couldn't understand him, like how he's so chill, and I was like suffering, I was like, oh my gosh, my team, and my dad was chilling, and I was like, oh, why, why? And now I understand. Now I'm older, I understand. Like, I mean, it's good to have be passionate, but to a certain level, But yeah, I mean, it was a good decision that he made to decide whatever you want, your team, and that's it. That was really
That's
fun.
why it's so hard being a United fan right now and being so
Yep.
passionate about it. Like,
Right,
oh
right,
God,
right.
I need a new TV. Throw the remote at the TV.
But it's cool. Like, we love talking about, looking at like videos of, I mean, all over, but I think it's particular the South American supporters groups are so passionate. Those are the ones who don't maybe hit adulthood, and they're like, maybe I should there. But I love watching it. It's super cool, and maybe already kind of knew who his favorite team was. I won't cheat there, but I don't know if you noticed, but I definitely talked to his father about it. But a few of our chants in the supporters group were inspired by the Boca chants. I don't know if you've recognized
Yeah,
them.
of course.
Heard me wailing on the trumpet, butchering it.
Yeah. I knew all the songs that you were singing. I knew all of them.
Yeah?
Because of, I mean, we sing them back home. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
cool.
That's awesome. It was so funny because I remember the first time I met his dad. He came up to me in the tailgate and he's like, "Do you know that the chants you're singing are from Boca?" I'm like, "Of course I do."
Yeah.
But I love that. But kind of tying it back, we were briefly touching on this a little bit earlier. But I mean, I love like the culture we're creating. I mean, in American soccer in general, but at Hickory, I think we've got a really cool culture. How does that compare to, I mean, Boca, Argentina in general, whether it's the smokes, the tailgates, the singing, like, does it remind you, like?
100%. Yeah. Of course, the amount of people is different because Boca has 40,000, River has 80,000. But I mean, it's like kind of the way it goes is really similar, and I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. Yeah.
That's what we need to get, and we need to work on for next year is like getting, if we have 6,000, if we've got more next year, we need to get everybody chanting in some way.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be
that's-
nuts
that's-
to do that. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, it's as one of the main people who sets up our chants. One of the things that's like logistically difficult about that is, so one of the things that I tried to do, I don't think it came across very well, but I tried to take chants from like different regions. So like we have a few chants that I took from like MLS. We have a few chants I took from the French league, a few chants I took from the Italian league, and a few chants I took from South American leagues. Now, it's super cool to talk about that, but to teach a supporter section a chant in English and Spanish and 10 different chants is a lot more difficult.
Well, I don't know if we could do any English chants because you have a lot of 4-letter words and calling people's moms different names, and it'd be nuts.
So that is something that I definitely struggled with, because for Tom, I really wanted to do some British chants, but man, a lot of those British chants are insanely offensive. And I'm like, and the problem too is if you try to make it like more kosher, so to say, it just sounds so lame.
Yeah,
it sounds so lame. And so I'm like, do we even bother? But I do have one. I do have one lined up for next year. I'm going to hopefully try to get everyone to learn. So
okay, good.
Yeah, we need some British chants, but with as many kids as are in there, I don't know if they'll approve.
So now we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we'll just say, rumor has it that you brought a little piece of Argentina back with us on this national winning team this year. We mentioned Lucho.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. How did that come up? I mean, you mentioned growing up with him. Like, were you guys friends? Did you guys talk through college, and then kind of talk to the culmination into bringing him here to Hickory?
The thing was, his brother is also here, so both of the Galicia brothers are here, and they were the first that they came to the U.S. to college. And we always watch the games, and my brother would say, "Oh, that's so cool to do it one day," And they helped me to come here. So, and they were trying to recruit me to their school, but I went to another one, but because it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, with Lucho it's funny because I played with him 2023 summer, my first summer here. I played with him in Texas, and then. I played, of course, Hickory 2024, and we were in holidays together, and he told me, like, hey, what about Hickory? Do you think I have a spot for next season? And I said, let me see what I can do. And when I contact him with Carlos, and yeah, that will happen. It's like everything with connections, and Lucho was doing really good in Memphis in his first school, and then he went to Memphis, the big D1 school, Memphis, and he was doing great. So, I mean, it was really, really good. Acquisition for the team, him. So yeah, I was excited, and he performed.
Thankfully you brought him here because what did we say before?
It was not me.
He assisted the assist in the national final.
Oh my God!
So.
I just love too because I remember when they announced him this year, and that was one of the things I thought was super cool this year is like seeing a lot more D1 players. And that's when like, all right, we're stepping up. Yeah. But I love like from our perspective, it's like, oh, we got a Division I player, and then I'm just imagining them like 12,000 miles away. He's like, hey, you think we got a spot? We're like, heck yeah, we got a spot. Absolutely. So it's so funny how that plays out.
That's funny. Yeah. And I just love like his physicality.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he was a hold up strike, like just watching him, he just, I don't know what to say.
How he hold the ball, I mean, for us was so helpful, because usually when a team press you high and you have no options, you always know that Lucho is there, You send the ball, long ball, and you know that he's going to hold it. He's going to hold it and he's going to set to another teammate. So it was really, really helpful. Yeah.
It was amazing, and again, thankfully, he assisted the assist. That was awesome. So from Argentina to the U.S., the journey that brought you here, and eventually to our great state of Hickory.
Yep.
Let's talk about how you, I guess, ended up in the States to begin with, and similar to a lot of the players that we've talked to. I mean, I think we all know that most are international. Not a lot are from the U.S., which is great. That has to be a huge leap to leave family, to leave friends. I mean, I don't even know what that would feel like. You probably know what it's like too, coming up here when family's in Florida.
I mean, that's like a 2-hour flight. This is like a 12-hour flight.
But still, like I don't know how I would deal with leaving my family. I mean, even a 2-hour flight, that would be insane to me. So, like, what drew you to? And it fascinates me because I think, and we've mentioned before, like we think of European academies, South American academies, like that's where you focus, that's where you go. Yeah. But what kind of drew you to playing in the U.S. first of all?
Yeah, good question. Well, I was playing in 2022 in like a kind of professional team. I was training with the team, and I was not great. I just graduated from college, and I was, what I should do. I had the chance to stay one more year in that team, but I was not sure. And Lucho's brother contacted me with my coach from Francis Marion, with Luis. And he contacted me and said, hey, we have a master. And I was, in my head, I was not thinking to keep studying, you know. With my CPA exam was done, I'm done with school. And 2-3 months later, I was already studying, and in English, in another language. So, I mean, for me, I knew that my future was connected with soccer. That was for sure. I don't know where, but it was soccer for sure. And yeah, when he contacted me, I didn't hesitate. I say, okay, let's go. I say goodbye to my family, but it was tough. Don't get me wrong. I imagine living 25 years in a country with your family, and suddenly you are alone. And not alone because you are with your teammates, you know, but alone in another country, in another language. It was not easy, but it was a good experience. So it was a really good experience because you grow, you know. When you are like out of your comfort zone, is when you start growing. So yeah, that first year in Francis Marion, I was kind of struggling. But then when I kind of settled down, I started enjoying it, and I started enjoying it all the journey. But yeah, I mean, when I had to took the decision, I was like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, let's go to the US and enjoy, you know, and yeah, and that moment was an easy decision for me. They say, let's go, let's do it. I mean, what's the worst thing can happen? I don't like it. I go back, you know, go back home.
That's crazy how like casual you are about it. Because like for me, if I'm like, do I want to go 12 hours away? I would be freaking out. It would take me 3 months to even decide. And he's just like, boom,
let's go.
We're going.
Yeah, let's go. And if it's not working out, I go back, you know. But my mind was like, this is gonna work, and it worked.
There's so many things I love about like your story and everyone's story. Like first off, the first thing that came to mind is like all of sports here in the U.S., especially like college age sports, centered around this kind of opportunity to continue developing, playing, while simultaneously like furthering your educational career, which you know a lot of the other countries don't have. You know, when you hit 18 in Italy, Spain, Germany, I'm sure it's the same in South America. School's done. But now it's like an opportunity to develop as a player, but also like continue developing as a person. And you got your MBA to further and just make you a smarter, better person. So I love that. But also just culturally, like again, you're going to a different world. You know, especially I'm sure Hickory is totally different from Buenos Aires.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Was your reaction like, what in the hell? Where the hell am I at?
But when you came here, I mean, we'll kind of focus on soccer here first because I'm kind of curious about that. How was that different? You know, I'm kind of curious what your experience, whether it was like, is training different, or were the games different? Were they more physical, less physical, tactics different? Like, how did it differ?
For my opinion, I think it was more the running stuff. In Argentina, it's more like technical, you know, more like possession, or of course they're fighting and stuff, but here I was surprised of how many kilometers the players runs. You know, that was shocked me at the beginning, and then I was surprised with all the facilities. In Argentina, we don't have, except of professional teams, we don't have that kind of facilities in any youth like academy, or growing up we don't have the college facilities. So that shocked me a lot at the beginning. And then, of course, there's a lot of quality because soccer here is growing a lot, and there's a lot of internationals, a lot of countries like soccer related, Brazil, Germany, England. So the level was really good. I was surprised when I first came. Before coming here, I said like, it's gonna be easy. I said, no. I mean, it took me a year. It took me a year to kind of settle to the level and everything. So yeah. I mean, it's a big change, but I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised. Good.
That is something that I think is really funny. I feel like we've heard of that a lot of times, where people are like, it's American soccer. I'm gonna just come in and kick some butt, you know. So it's really interesting. But I mean, it also goes to show that, you know, first off, like, I love soccer is universal. You know, it's like it's everywhere, and there are gonna be little things that are different, like Martin having to run 10 kilometers instead of, you know, being like Messi and just doling out the passes in Argentina. But you know, generally speaking, it's the same language, you know. So now on top of that, you know, I'm always fascinated with college sports in general. First off, you know, there's so much going on, and like whether it's a full-time job as a student, but also just like your exposure to really cool facilities, making you feel really professional. I think that's cool. We saw that your time at Francis Marion, you did earn all tournament, but also academic honors. So I'm kind of curious, how does the experience from the college and having played a few summers as well, you know, I imagine during the collegiate season, it's like you got class, like 8 to 5, and you got practice after, so you're probably slammed compared to Hickory FC where, you know, you've got practices, but I imagine 5 to 7 hours a day, you don't have much going on. So how does that compare, and do you prefer one? I know some people say, like, I kind of like being busy and just not having time, or some people are like, I just like to sit in my yerba mate and hang out. So how do those compare, and do you prefer one?
Yeah, I kind of loved it. The thing that to be busy, you know, because sometimes when you just practice, then what you do the rest of the day? You're chilling, you know. I mean, it's not bad, but it's good to have something to do. And I always be good with classes, you know, in general with school. So I was not like kind of suffering. No, the opposite. I was training, and then after that I could do some homework, and I was keeping me busy was something good in the 2 years I've been in Francis Marion. But I also enjoy the summer part that you mentioned, to be like, you know, chilling or hanging out with the boys. That's also fun, you know. It's also fun. But I work good with both. I mean, I feel comfortable with both. Yeah.
Yeah, I always just, again, we talked about this, but from all the videos and stuff from you guys, like I just imagine it's just like a summer camp. Like you guys just look like you guys are hanging out, having fun. From I guess we could say like a living perspective, just in between practices, any interesting or funny stories of just day-to-day stuff?
Hickory?
Yeah.
We got to know some behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Stuff
I mean, I have a lot of good memories, actually. I have one that was really funny for me. It was really simple but funny. It was the day before the final of the conference against UP. And they were trying to do like a video of Tony being the MVP of the conference. And we have to record ourselves saying like, hey, Tony, you deserve it, something like that. And we thought that would be funny to like met all together, like 10 of the guys, 15, and record a video, you know, because if you record yourself, it's kind of boring, you know. So we went to the campus, and we were trying to record that 20-second video for 2 hours. We couldn't make it because imagine 10 guys staring like that to the camera and trying not to laugh, because you have to laugh. And all international with not good English, trying to say something. That was the day before the final with UP. And I remember it was so funny. We were 2 hours, and I think at the end we did it. But it was like 20 seconds video. We took 2 hours. Laughing. The least mistake, Lucho started talking. No, he made a mistake. We had to start again. Okay, no, Danny, I'm joking. He made a mistake, and we were switching, and that was a really good memory. It was so simple, like I say, but it was so good. I remember that.
So this season in USL2, we have to do an all or nothing type thing, and we have to be like the behind the scenes.
You're just gonna see Gavin and us just videotaping everything behind the scenes, because I'm just imagining them all standing there trying to look professional, and then they're just like,
making faces, you know, making faces,
like flicking their hats, and like stop.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, and then also I would say like every game here at home, like the entire day, that we were all together from probably 2-3 p.m. until the kickoff 7. That 3-4 hours we were all in the locker room. So good, playing cards, playing like a cell phone game all together. You know, it was so fun. Everything I remember that is really funny.
Well, I mean, and that's like what we've heard from everybody, and you know it's got to be true now, that it's just like you talk about your blood brother, but I mean, like, these guys are brothers.
Oh yeah,
you know,
for sure.
You have fun with them and joke around, and man, that sounds so much fun. We got to be a part of that.
It's like a summer camp, literally.
We got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm glad you mentioned that story, because that kind of leads us into your time here, which has been championship winning. So, and of course, we started as a summer opportunity, I think, you know, probably coming in like, where am I at? I don't even know where Hickory is, like, what's going on here? There's a new club that's kind of weird, but, you know, in 2 seasons, we've got 2 Southeastern Conference titles, region, and then, of course, the big one with the national championship. And you know, you're a real huge part, massive part of the club after being here for both seasons. But what, after the success of the first year, even, I know going out in the regional was tough, but what made you decide to come back for the second year?
Oh, for me, it was really easy. I mean, I had such a good time that first summer, so for me, it was easy. I mean, it was like a matter of saying, Carlos, hey, do you need me? Yes, that's it. That was the 1 minute conversation, even less. Yeah, I mean, it was easy. It was the first summer for me was so good, like everything, not only on the field but off the field, And yeah, when we had the chance to talk with Carlos, I didn't hesitate. Yeah, I said, let's do it. And it was good because before the season started, when I saw the roster, I already saw, okay, this team is special. It's going to be special, even better than the first year. And yeah, well, it happened. We make it happen, but yeah, it was pretty straightforward. 30-second conversation with guys. Yeah,
you said, say less.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You need me? Yes. Okay.
Done.
That's it.
Done deal.
Easy.
And I love that culture we've created, and I mean we hear from all the players the host families are amazing, the fan there's so much, and I've always talked about this, but it just becomes a positive feedback, it's a good culture, so better players are going to want to come, and then better players come, we perform better. When we perform better, more fans come, and it's just constantly positive.
Everything in the team is great.
Yeah.
Probably the cameras show the players or the coaching staff, but there's a lot of people behind. The owners, Jonathan, Laura Pascal, the social media, the community, the whole families. Everyone make the team great. Not only the players. The players are the last thing, or what people see, but there's a lot of behind. And yeah, we're grateful for them.
Yeah, and now, I mean, we've created this now, so now it's easy to say this is a great place, but we talked to Rubio a bit about, that first season, he's kind of a walking car salesman trying to sell something that doesn't exist yet. And so I'm kind of curious, that first year, how did he approach you? How did you even come in contact with him? And, how did he sell you this idea of a concept that wasn't even there yet?
Yeah, it was a funny story actually, because I was in Francis Marion for the spring. And the funny thing is my coach, Luis Rincon from school, Francis Marion, he was the coach of Carlos and Jorge when they were in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he knew, of course, Carlos and Jorge, and he told me, my coach, he said, I recommend you to go there because I know them and I know that the team is going to be good. I mean, it's the first year of the team, he explained to me, but I know that they're really good coaches and really good people. So I had other options to go. It was not only Hickory, I have 2 or 3 options I was thinking. But when he told me that, I was like, okay, let's go for this one. And then with Carlos, it was easy. He explained me what he was thinking for the season, and yeah, we signed everything. But honestly, it was my Francis Mario coach. And also because I was not the only one from Francis Marion. There were some of the guys. We were 4 or 5. So it was good to be with the people that are gonna play later for the school to share the summer with Camilo, with David, John, and Santi. So that summer in Hickory that we were successful, it helped us a lot in school later, and we won the conference again in the school. But I think it's kind of connected,
I didn't know all you guys came from Francis Marion.
Yeah, we were at the beginning 4, and then Santi Bustamante, he came for the last month or so for Hickory.
Wow.
Yeah, we were 5. And it was really helpful later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
So after the first year and winning the Southeastern Conference, which I don't know, did you guys expect that and really in the manner that it happened, getting beat by App twice in the season and then going up there to their place and beating them 3-0. That's massive. And I guess you can kind of tell what it meant for the locker room, but what did it mean to win that title first year against who it was?
Yeah.
For
me, that first conference championship was really, really special. I put it at the same level of the national champion, myself. Because for me, it was my first trophy here in the US. But yeah, like you say, we were not doubting about ourselves, but we knew it was going to be tough. Up the first year they were tough. They were probably the best team one of the best team in the nation. But yeah, we were like saying, okay, they beat us twice. What's gonna happen? You know, we were playing at their place, a final. But just everything was good that day. The game plan was great. The energy was good. And we went there and played with courage, you know, being brave. That was the key, you know, because sometimes the games before we were like, okay, we were expecting too much up, you know. And this game we say, okay, let's do it, you know, let's win. And yeah, we were not expecting to win 3-0, you know. We were expecting to fight and to have a chance, but not like that, you know. That was one of my favorite moments here.
Yeah, and I like outnumbering their fans up there.
The atmosphere was insane.
Like, and I don't know. I mean, it might be over the year. It's been forgotten because of obviously the success this year. But I put, and of course we were already up 2-0 at the time. But I put Bjarne's worldie in that match. I mean, it's got to be up there with Tommy's goal. I mean, Tommy's goal is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But his worldie last year was like it's nuts.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, that goal, because Bjarne, he always tried that kind of shoots during practice, and I think I don't remember even he scored one, or maybe one or two. And when he was dribbling with the ball, we say, okay, go to the corner to waste time. And when he shot and he scored, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm happy for him. You know, he's a hell of a player, but yeah, what a goal, what a finish. Yeah. What a moment.
Yeah, that first season was just, again, it's like every year, like if we should have had Netflix out there, man. What a story. And I mean, we had that season and we come back and just did it again, you know? So you kind of touched on it a little bit, you know, seeing the roster, seeing the players, you know, getting Lucho in, a few more Division I players, but kind of how did season 2 feel? You know, were you guys like, were you personally like, did you expect us to just dominate like this, or did you know we were going to do well? Or tell us what season 2 was like for you.
For me, when I saw the roster, I said, okay, this team is going to be special for sure. I mean, I have no doubt. I remember Lucho asked me, hey, what do you think about the roster? And I said, it's great. Believe me, it's great. We were talking with Carlos and Jorge and Will before the season started, and I remember I told them, the team in terms of quality is great, but if we can achieve what we did the 2024 summer, like this connection among players, if we can achieve that kind of connection, we can go all the way. And yeah, I mean, we can do it. Of course, we knew the quality was there, but for us, it was more important to build connection on and off the field. Are the same, important. And then you never know. Of course, football is, there's one game, you're out. But yeah, I knew from scratch that this team is gonna perform. And for me, I was preparing myself to, at least we have to achieve the same what we did last year, the year before, at least minimum. That's a minimum. And of course, I was thinking, going to the national champion, but maybe it was too much, you know, because you never know. But yeah, it works perfect. Yeah.
Well, I think you're like, you know, your connection, the connection you guys all have together. I mean, it's obvious, and we've heard it from everybody that we've had on. But I think it kind of culminated for me at least. And I'm a sucker for the, you know, Ben's emotional videos with like soft music, and you got a voiceover, and we talked about it when we did the reaction kind of commentary video where Carlos was talking, and I felt like, oh my God, I could run through a brick wall. Like in your video, or the video that Ben made with you talking, doing the voiceover, I was like, oh my God, let me get out there. I can't do anything when I get out there. I can't run up the pitch, but I'll get out there and hit somebody.
Yeah. Thank God, Ben, in that video, he put subtitles, because I couldn't understand anything I was saying. I couldn't understand anything. Thank God he put subtitles, because I don't know what I was saying.
Well, it still sounded amazing, and I'm sure, man, we need to like record that in Spanish. I bet it would be even better.
Yeah, that would be helpful for me, honestly. I struggle with that kind of speech. Sometimes I was more nervous of the speech than the game.
Well, it was
There's
amazing.
A funny story.
Awesome.
I think it was against Lubbock at home, or Ristos. I think it was Lubbock. And I was talking in the speech, and I remember I wanted to say, like, to the guys, I will kill for you, like trying to motivational speech, but I forgot the for. I say, I kill you, I said. And I remember Charlie, Robbie, and Ron, and start laughing. And I say, why they are laughing? I mean, in my head, I was talking just right. And then Juanpa told me, like, hey, you forgot to say 4. And it doesn't make any sense what I said. I will kill you, I said to them. That was a funny thing. But from then, I started improving, on my speech. Yeah.
Well, it was great. And that's why, like, I kind of, I kind of try to come up with nicknames for guys and players and everything. And I think that's why, like, and I didn't really post it anywhere or say anything, but I was thinking, all right, this is our general.
The general?
He's our general.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, this is our on-field general.
This is why team connection really matters, because if you don't have this tight-knit connection, I'm just imagining Martin sitting there yelling at the guy saying, I will kill you, and then running out into the field, and they're like,
yeah, what?
Well, I guess now that you said that, we can call you the Butcher.
The Butcher.
You can be
Sandro Martinez.
Yeah, you can be the Butcher.
I prefer that one.
Okay, the Butcher.
The Butcher. Yeah.
So I guess from a defensive standpoint, how did your defense kind of evolve from year 1 and 2, but also like the team? Because this year we saw Jonah go down, get hurt, but then Charlie came in and there was no drop off, and then Guille had to go back, and I thought both of those incidents I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? And then seeing 9 foot tall G come in, it's like we're good. But so how did the defense, not only for yourself but for the team, evolve?
Yeah, I mean when a team is in a good moment, it's really easy to change players. But I was worried as well, like with Jonah, with Guille, that they were like solid. We were wondering like how the team is going to react when you change like this many players. But when the team is in a good moment and it's good chemistry, it's really easy. G came in and he was already playing like he was playing 2 summers with Hickory, or with us. And I mean, from first year to the second one, I think it was more experience, Defense is more like to experience the timing, I don't know if I can say like something specific, but for me it was more experience. You to just play in the position, repetition. And that's what I would say. Yeah, like when a team is in a good moment, in a good shape, when you change one player, imagine we changed a lot, like the starting 11 in the last games, and the team was still good. That's what I meant. Yeah.
No, and I talked about it in the podcast kind of on the off season, but it was so impressive to see like the structure of the defense was so fluid.
Yeah.
Even if like somebody moved up, like it was like natural how like you would cover each other, and it was like nothing. Like I think there was one play I talked about where G had pushed up, tried to tackle a player, fell, and like you guys just shifted to a back 3 like it was intuitive, like it was immediate. Like, and then if somebody's going up, it's you guys flow together so well. So
it's practice.
It was so impressive to watch. Like it's like one of those things where like you in sports in general, some teams have good defense where it's like the few times it's actually fun to watch defense, because it's like so cool. It's all like you're all so dependent on each other, but you trust and you cover, and it's incredible. So that's one of the things I noticed for sure. It was very cool.
Yeah, I think the key is, and I say this to the coaching staff, is when a player know exactly what they have to do, and we knew exactly what we had to do. What happened in this situation? They give us the answer. You have to do this. You have to do this. So we practice a lot, and that's merit to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And of course, the players that follow, but the coaching staff. Yeah, right. Great.
Now, we had talked a little bit about some worldly goals before, but I know you had one of your own here that we're gonna, if I can get this to pull up here, that I kind of want to get your reaction on. Tell us what was going on here. What's your thoughts on this?
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if you can. Let's get that full screen there.
Yeah.
Waiting for the whistle. There's the whistle. Juanche shoots, scores himself for Martin.
Good, huh?
Keeper didn't even move.
Absolutely
that was a special.
insane. I'm going to see if I can pause this real quick. We could see maybe some ball placement here, because, man, that ball, you see that ball right there? I don't think that could have been tucked in any more perfectly there.
Top bins.
That was a special goal, but not only special goal, but a special game for me. I mean, it was my first game as a starter of this season.
Okay.
I was not playing much at the beginning, but that was my first game as a starter, so it was really important for me. So being able to score, and I think they picked me as a man of the match that game. I don't remember, but But it was really, I mean, maybe it was not like a very important game because we won 6-1. It was the middle of the regular season. But for me, it was one of the, because of this, because I was not playing much, and it was like a proof that, okay, I can play and I can perform good. That was like kind of the beginning of my good momentum. So, and the goal was good.
Yeah.
And it was special because my dad was there, my brother was there, so we kind of celebrate together.
There you go. With a quality left foot. I mean, you and Harry both.
Yeah.
Like, your left feet are just
Thank you.
Now on that you're lining up because that's a good distance away. Was it just not even a doubt in your mind? You're like, I'm ripping that.
Yeah. Actually, now I remember. Last podcast you mentioned something. Carlos mentioned something about someone that was complaining. I don't know if you remember that story. Carlos mentioned.
I remember it.
That was me. No, but in that spot I was shooting. But what Carlos mentioned is there was like we were practicing this set piece that was like kind of in the middle. You know, it was too far from shooting, but kind of too close to crossing. And I didn't like it. Honestly, we have a good relationship with Carlos. So I was saying like, I don't like this play. If I have a free kick from here, I'm shooting. I'm being honest. I said to Carlos, and he was saying, no, do it. Let's practice it. And then we went to the final, and I don't know why I picked to do it. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to me. Someone, I don't know if it was Ronan or Carlos that say, hey, let's do it. And I was like, okay. I didn't want to, but okay, if you say, and it worked. That was me. That was complaining with Carlos.
That's
but
so funny.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to mention any names.
Yeah, it was me. But yeah, that game, I didn't have any doubt. I mean, when we already got the foul and said that's me, and I already knew that I was shooting there. So
yeah, I literally remember your dad ran up to me in the parking lot after. He's like, "Did you see his goal?" I was like, "Crazy."
Yeah.
So
that's I mean, that's definitely one of the goals of the season for sure.
Oh, thank you.
So one of the biggest differences this year wasn't just the results and the I guess the increase in results, the you know, with the national championship and so forth, but it was obvious the journey, literally the journey from here to all the way out to California, and it, you know, serious travel I would assume, and I think there might have been more travel just in general in the season, away games, but what was it like traveling, and if you've got any good stories about traveling with the guys. What was it like traveling? And you know, I'm sure it was fun. I'm sure it was crazy. But what was that like?
All the away games were funny, you know. They were not far. I mean, most of the regular season were close, like 2-3 hours. So it was a bus. But yeah, I mean, the national final was amazing. It was so many, but not only the trip and the game, but the entire week. You know, the entire week was great. You know, we enjoyed. Imagine preparing our national final. It's great. I mean, I was excited to go to practice, and yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have one memory that Carlos mentioned also as well. That this game that we were playing, I don't know if you remember, that. We didn't know that it was a messy. There was a problem with the dinner or they would have a meeting. We didn't know. We were just there. They say, "Hey, let's go at 7 to dinner." Okay, we were waiting 7:30. But we didn't think about why is late the dinner. No, we were just playing this game Mafia. That there's some killers and then you have like the tripulation. It's like the Among Us. And I mean, we didn't care. We were just having fun, you know. And the coaching staff, they were serious, you know, like. I said, what is going on with them? And we were just chilling, like playing, you know. That was one of my favorite memories of the travel, you know, in general. And in that moment, when we were playing that game, I said, I don't know what's going to happen. This one was the day before the final. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow because football is unpredictable. You don't know. But I know that whatever happens, this team is going to stick together. Because of that silly game, I knew that whatever happens, this guy got my back. I got the back of my teammate, you know. And I was kind of relief after that silly game, like I said, just because it gave me the proof that this team was connected, you know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I remember now.
It's those like little things that
exactly.
sticks with you, you know.
Right.
And I love just like hearing that Rubio was mentioning. You guys still have a group chat. You're still like I love like it just shows. Like the family bond that you guys had, and I'm sure that was a huge part of it.
Yeah. And another thing, sorry to interrupt, is When we were going to, I think we went to Sacramento and then we went to San Francisco. There was like a problem in the flight. It was delayed, 6 hours delay. We didn't care. We were all together in the airport, waiting, but we were all together, laughing, drinking mate. I mean, I remember the owners and some of the staff were like worried, of course, but we didn't care. I mean, I was happy, I was going to another state. I'd never been in San Francisco. I was happy. Why I'm gonna be mad or sad because of a delay? No. That's another good story.
I'm just imagining, like, you're in the airport and you see the family with like the 10 kids and they're all running around. The dad's like trying to rearrange the flag.
And we're chilling.
Like,
we were chilling.
They're running around. Carlos like, hey, don't touch that. Don't touch
See
that.
Carlos as the dad just
Stop.
No.
But I brought up family because quite literally, I mean, we talked about is your dad coming. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
But something I didn't even realize till like halfway through the season, but you got to play with your brother.
Yeah.
On the pitch, and it sounds like you experienced a lot of your career with him. So what's that like? What was it like growing up playing together, coming to a new country, playing again, winning a national championship with your brother?
Yeah.
Like, what's all that like, whether on the field, off the field?
Special. We played together since we were kids, so we have a really good connection because we were 24/7 playing together. So I know exactly his moment, he knows my movements, so we have like a really good connection on the field, of course, off the field. But for me, this summer was special because he stayed with me the entire summer. So I miss him a lot when he's back home. And to be able to be with him, to share these memories, 3 months with him, is really special. And of course, to share the field, of course, is special as well. And not only with him, but with my dad and with my mom that came as well.
Yeah, no, it's special. That sounds like such a cool experience. Like, first off, like growing as soccer players together.
Yeah.
But then I didn't even think about it. He's gone 10 months, and then you guys are just thrown together, and you probably spent 24/7 for like 3 months.
Right.
And it's just going to be the thing that you think about for forever.
Yeah.
It's going to be a memory that you keep for a while. And then, like I said, my first experience was I think the second or third game, and your dad came up to me and he's like, "Oh, Martin's dad," and he was talking about staying here for a few months. So what was that like? I mean, I'm sure it must feel awesome to know your parents are coming so far away, spending so much time, but getting to watch this success. So
after the first summer, 2024 summer, I told them like, hey, you have to come here to watch a game. You have to. It's mandatory. So I cannot force them to come, And I mean, he stayed like for 2 months and he watched all the games, like the regular season. Then my mom came and watched all the playoff games. So I think they enjoyed a lot. I mean, the atmosphere is great. The level is good. We've been able to spend most of the summer together as a family again. So for me was important because I was here alone, with no one. With the families of Hickory, but kind of alone. So it was really good for me to have them back. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see them again. Yeah.
What was their reaction to Hickory? Just like this town, did they like it? Were they impressed with it?
Yes. Hickory is kind of similar to the place we live back home. It's kind of similar to Puerto Madryn, not to Buenos Aires, but to Puerto Madryn. So they like it. And my parents lived here a few years ago, like 34 years ago in Minnesota. It's completely different, but they knew the country, but not the state. They would never been in Hickory. But I told them just good stuff about Hickory, and they loved it. They didn't want to leave, honestly. They didn't want to leave. They had to because of work, but they didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that you brought up like the family being together again, because I mean, I'm definitely like kind of at my stage in life where it's like when everyone starts parting ways, brothers and sisters go to college, and to like think about like an opportunity where it's like 3 months where the whole family is together, like that sounds like such a special opportunity. And not just that, but like the success you got to experience while doing that, like it must have felt like being a kid again. You're like with your family all the time. You get to have dinner with them. So I love that you got to experience that. That's really cool.
I didn't have to cook for that month, that summer.
There you go.
Really bad cooking, so I didn't have to cook. So that was.
I bet it was nice having Mama's cooking again.
Gosh,
my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So I guess when you add all that up together, not to be cheesy or corny, but like when you add the family and the travel and the trophies together, I mean, it really does create memories that are going to last you forever. I mean, you're going to look back in 50 years and hopefully remember your time here in Hickory and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what was it like playing, and we've asked, multiple players, but what, in your experience, what was it like playing at Moretz, playing in front of the fans? What
was
what
insane,
did
insane, just insane. I mean, I never played with these kind of people before in my life, never. In Argentina, yeah, with some, but not like 5,000-6,000 people, never. And great. Imagine having 6,000 people cheering for you when you to win. It's crazy. And one funny thing is, every time we went to play away, we remind how good is playing home. That was for me was that feeling. Every time we step on a away game, say, oh, I miss Moretz so bad. And yeah, we enjoyed everything. Everything, like not only the game itself, but everything before, like people saying, hey, good luck today, or maybe after when we go to Diagon Alley, that's when we signed the autograph. Mm-hmm. The connection with the people, that's amazing. That's an experience that I'm gonna miss for sure. And yeah, that was one of probably the strong thing about the team, the community.
Now, is there any like moment, whether it was like in autograph alley on the pitch, where you're just kind of like stopping, standing, and like reflecting and realizing? Because I mean, you were here from the beginning, so you've seen from game one of 1,000 fans to semifinals at home with 7,000.
Right.
Is there ever a moment where it just kind of like hits you and you're like, this is it? We built this.
I remember that every time we were in the national anthem, when you were standing there, seeing that's the moment I say, ooh, this is big. Then the game started and you start focusing on the game and kind of you forgot. But I think that's the moment that the national anthem, and maybe when you walk towards the middle of the field before the game, that's the moment of realization. You say, oh, this is big. But it's good, because you have the fans on cheering for you. No, you are not the other team that want you to lose. But yeah, I would say that moment probably the 5 minutes before the game started. Yeah.
Now, this is like a super random aside, but this is something I thought. I mean, I'm sure. Do you play FIFA growing up?
Yeah.
So how I imagine playing in Moretz versus like these like random stadiums. I don't remember which one it was. One of the FIFAs where you could first play as a player. You like it's like the central player view, but when you get close to the goal, it like shrinks and then it gets like blurry and it starts like shaking.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine it's like playing at Moretz.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Just like the honed in, the crowd. Like I'm sure this is like a dumb question because it's obvious, but I imagine like when you're like charging down the field and it gets like loud, like that must be insane.
Well, the feeling, excitement, it's insane, just insane, insane. And the moments, of course, after the game when we win and we go to celebrate with the fans, that's amazing. Yeah, that's just insane.
Probably gonna miss that.
Insane. Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
I know you mentioned before that you had a couple, but what's your favorite match that you played in, or if you didn't, like what was your favorite match out of 2 years? What would you say your favorite match was?
Can I pick two games?
Pick whatever you want.
I will say the final of the conference 2020 first year. That for me was special. For me personally was special. Everything playing away, winning away against a good team. It was special. The first conference in 2024. Then I will say I'm gonna say up again this year, just because it was a special game. Like everything, like I said before off the camera, like was a tough game for us. We didn't play our best level. Me personally, I didn't enjoy the game. I'm always trying to enjoy all the games because it could be the last one, and I didn't enjoy that game. And I got cramped the second half, so I was not happy. I was happy that night, but the day after I was like, how can I cramp? I was mad. I remember. And then the third one, I would say the national final. Yeah, the national final has to be there for sure. Away against again great team with all the conditions maybe on their favor, and the team just went there, made the game. We were brave. We played. And we took the natty. But yeah, that three had to be there. Yeah.
That's crazy. I I mean, I guess I think about it, but it's always so crazy to think about how every time you get on the pitch, you're like, this could be the last game.
Yeah.
Like a week from now, these guys could be back in their home
Right.
countries, like, or we're gonna be flying to San Francisco next week. You know,
Yeah.
like it just goes to show like the mental like fortitude it takes. Like you gotta be. Like it sounds like you're struggling mentally. It's tough. You want to have fun. Like you're like, if this is the last moment, I want it to be happy.
Yep.
You're like,
I mean, that was
"Dang, this sucks."
that was my thinking process before El Farolito, the game, because I don't know what's gonna happen later. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna play again. I don't know. You don't know. So in my head before the game was, okay, whatever happens, I want to enjoy. You know, the game. To think 34 years later, say, okay, maybe you win or you lose, but you enjoy the game? You enjoy it or you suffer? It's like two different. For me, you can win or you can lose, but it's mandatory to enjoy what you're doing because that's why we are doing it. If when I stop enjoying soccer, I will stop playing. That's my mentality. So that was my thinking process before the game to enjoy. Then if I knew if I enjoyed the game, we were gonna be fine, and I enjoyed. I enjoyed.
And you were fine.
And we were fine. We were fine. Yeah, we were fine. We were fine. Yeah.
How does the fan energy in, I guess, Hickory in general, maybe Moretz and on a match day, but how does the energy surrounding the club, you guys, how does that compare with other places you played, college, Argentina, wherever?
It's completely different. Completely different. For example, I played my first summer in Texas, in West Texas, and there were fans by 200 per game. I mean, it was not bad. I cannot complain, but coming to Hickory was like a blow-minded. You know, I was not expecting to be this big, so I was surprised at the beginning. Then you get used to, and you think it's natural or normal. But it's completely insane. I mean, in Argentina, I never this amount of people, never, not even close. So again, every time I step on the field, I was like, look where are you playing? So if you don't enjoy it, why are you here? You know, that was my to myself, you know. And yeah, insanity. Yeah, I love it.
Would you say Hickory is a football town now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I think I've talked about this in the past, but I love kind of how as soccer is growing in America, you know, anytime something's new, it's got the opportunity to like be molded and figure out its personality almost. So I'm kind of curious, the American soccer culture, and maybe even specifically Hickory. You know, I look at Hickory's soccer culture, whether it's the tailgates, the chants, the just the passion behind it. Does that like remind you? Does it feel similar to back home, or is it unique?
It's unique.
It's different.
It's unique. It happens just here in Hickory. Crazy. I mean, what still shocked me is like sometimes I'm walking on the street and someone stopped me. Hey, Martin. Like, who are you? I don't know you. And I say, yeah, you are from Hickory. I've been in the. It's like, oh, well, nice to meet you. And like just random people stop me like because they know me because of the summer. So that kind of craziness is around the team, you know, and that's amazing. You see some kids with the Hickory shirt. That still surprised me. I mean, I still kind of processing when I saw something with the.
You're a celebrity now.
Nah. No, but I'm surprised. And it's unique. Like you say, your question is unique. It's happening just here in Hickory.
Yeah. No, it's super cool to watch and just be a part of it. You know, It's like whether it's just Hickory itself. I mean, Hickory alone is such a fascinating story because, like I've said this, you know, like when I came in 3 years ago to Hickory, I imagined just like a small southern town.
Yeah.
You see the crawdads, baseball, a little bit of football, and when the soccer team came, I was like, we'll get a couple hundred fans, and it just explodes.
Yeah.
Like, it literally explodes. It's crazy. So it's super cool. But to kind of pivot from Hickory on the pitch to Hickory off the pitch, you know, again, I mean, come from Argentina, a big city in Argentina, maybe a smaller city, but what was life like here for you in Hickory? How does it compare? Have you enjoyed it? What are things you liked, didn't like? I don't know, just talk
Here
about
in Hickory, you mean?
living here in Hickory, yeah.
I mean, I loved it because like I said, it's kind of remind me to my city, Puerto Madryn, in the south of Argentina, in Patagonia. Kind of quiet city, but still with a lot of things to do. So I love that. And I kind of live in big cities and in small cities, and I always prefer small cities, you know. And I mean, I didn't check anything when I first came Hickory. I didn't check anything. I have no clue when I first came here. What is like, and I loved it since day one. Since day one, I loved it. All the people like so nice, supportive with you, and well, this year I've been living here in Hickory for the entire year, and I loved it. I mean, it's beautiful. Everything, like people, the city, and everything you can do. Like I loved it. Yeah.
Do you have any specific memories of whether living here in Hickory that you'll remember or that you think fondly of?
Well, the summer has to be there. Everything related with the team, I loved it. Then, before and after, is like not much going on, you know. But I would say the entire summer experience and to be able to be part of the community. Yeah, now I'm more. Now I'm a fan. One more fan to Hickory FC. Now I play, but yeah, I would say that. Yeah, everything related with the team. Yeah. And how the community is getting even more connected with the team, year by year, is growing, and yeah, make me proud, make me happy. Yeah.
So as we continue, and this entire footballing journey continues, and your personal journey, I guess as we've often asked everybody going forward, what does that look like? If you were talking to, I don't know, your 10-year-old self, if you were talking to your 10-year-old self in Argentina, what advice do you think you would give Martin?
Yeah, good question.
20 years ago.
I would say like to keep working and to keep believing. When I was a kid, I was like, I loved the game, but I was struggling with my confidence. I was struggling to enjoy the game. I was suffering sometimes the game. And I remember that I kind of quit for a few years playing because I was mentally so done with the game and with everything. So I kind of quit. And I would say to that Martin to keep working, to keep working, to keep believing, and I mean the good things are always in the other part of hard, hard, and then comes the good part. So yeah, I would say that to myself if I had the chance. But yeah, I mean.
And what about like I said, we talked to a lot of players who have made this big jump. Is there any like advice or tips that like made coming to America easier or harder, or like coming to live here?
Yeah, I mean I would say to expect good level, of course, because it's a lot of quality now, and yeah, to be competitive, to fight. I mean, it's a process. For me, it was a process it's not easy to change a country, to move. So to give yourself like some time to adapt to a place. It's not that you have to land and be yourself again. You change yourself when you move away, move out. So yeah, to be strong and to if this is what you really want to come here to play, you have to resist sometimes the bad moments, and then you can, if you adapt, you can enjoy it. Yeah.
No, I always am very impressed and blown away because it's a huge leap. You're going far away and going to a new place. So it's very interesting to see how you guys react to it, how it molds you, makes you a better person. Because I couldn't. So I really.
The key is to understand what you want to do. That's the key. If you know that this is what you want to do, to go to college or to play soccer, if this is what you want to do, you want to figure it out. You want to figure it out that, okay, this is not good now, but eventually it's going to get better. Mm-hmm. But sometimes people struggle because they don't know if I should make the good decision or not. So, I mean, it's good to eliminate doubt, This is going to work, and go with the plan. That's maybe a helpful advice.
So, as I mentioned, going forward, we ask, what's next for you? What's next for Martin?
Good question. I still trying to figure that out. I think it has to be something related with keep playing. I don't think myself like a retired football player. I don't. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be in Argentina, back home, or here. I'm trying to think that, but it has to be something with football for sure. I hope that. I think I can still play for a few more years. I'm still young to retire, so yeah. Hopefully, keep playing. Yeah, and probably professional level. Yeah, if it's possible.
USL 2, Hickory FC.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I had to ask Carlos, but I don't think so. I think my kind of time in Hickory FC is kind of maybe done for now. But we'll see. We'll see what's happening.
Well, if the time is over, I will be and I don't know if I'm the first to tell you, but I call everybody a Hickory FC legend, but you are a Hickory FC legend.
Thank you very much.
Now you're like a part of the fabric of the club forever and ever and ever.
No, just one more player. Everyone is important.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody is important,
yeah.
absolutely, and everybody is a Hickory FC legend. I mean, even the guys that we haven't been able to talk to. I mean, all of you guys are.
Everyone is important. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
But I will say, I mean, again, we're never going to downplay anyone or anything, but I think there's something special about, first off, being a part of the first year.
Yeah.
And then being part of the first 2 years is definitely something super special. First off, you came into something that was incredibly unknown.
Yeah.
And you stuck through it, and you catered that into the success of winning a national championship. Mm-hmm. So I think there's something super special behind that. Yeah. But speaking of championships, I'm sure you've been celebrating the last 3 years with Argentina winning the World Cup. So we thought we would end with a little bit of predictions. We'll all go through and kind of say who we're predicting to win the World Cup, and we'll circle back in 6 months, and winner gets $1,000.
Let's go.
if Dr. Ferrari's paying, yeah.
So we'll start with our guest, Martin. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Argentina, but because it's been like a project in the team, like it's the same style of play, same coach, kind of same players. But then you never know. There's a lot of good teams. I want to say Argentina, but I will also add Spain has to be there. France has to be there. They're all the usual. But I think Argentina is gonna win again. Yeah, gonna win again. Yeah, I hope so.
Not biased at all.
No. 0.
What you got?
Oh man. I was gonna say France, but I didn't even think about Spain, and the way that Spain's been playing. It's hard to write them off. I will say that I think the U.S. will get out of the group stage. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they'll go any further than that. But as far as who's going to win, man. I'm going to have to say Spain.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Spain.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking Spain for the last few months, as much as it pains me. Because kind of similar to Argentina, I feel like the last World Cup, they had this core group of young players that were maybe just a little too young, and a lot of them are going to be coming back, and so they've got a really good core group of players, and I think they'll do it. But then France has got a great team, but I think they've just got too many hot-headed, too many me people. There's too many players that just want to be it, and I think when that happens, it collapses. And then Italy just. If we even make it to the World Cup, man, God, after the last 2 years.
Yeah, what's happened with Italy the last?
I don't know. I don't
10
want to talk
years?
about it. I don't know. It's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been rough. We peaked in 2006 and then just fell off a cliff after that. But but there we go. We got our predictions. We kind of all ended up saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, he's got Argentina, which I understand.
That's fine.
Yep. Well, I mean, I guess ending on that note, it's been a great time, and I appreciate you being here with us, and thank you for sharing your story from Argentina, college, to Hickory football. Mm-hmm. What a journey it's been, and to lifting trophies, many trophies this season. It's been great, and I hope your footballing career is not done, and I hope that. If you do move on somewhere else and, you come back to Hickory and, because you'll always be part of Hickory. You'll always be part of the town. I mean, you're one of us now and you belong here. So,
thank you very much, guys, for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I really love the podcast, the work you do. So thank you very much for having me. It was an honor.
Yeah. No, like I said, I being here the first 2 years, it's like a pivotal part of our club's history. So, like he said, you're always going to be a part of that. So that's definitely special. And like I said, I think so many of you guys have such interesting stories, and I love to hear it. And there's things we learn here. Like, we had no idea that he was casually childhood friends with Lucho, and that he was the one that brought Lucho, just learning stuff like that. It's so cool because, like Gavin says, from a fan's perspective, you're just 11 players on a pitch.
Right.
But like we know from our interactions, like there's stories, and there's like you guys are all just genuinely good, cool people, and love learning these stories. So, and then like he said, you know, if your time here in Hickory is done, I know myself, I'm sure a lot of people in Hickory will be following your story and hope to have more success. But obviously,
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I guess with that, thank Chris for everything that he does for us. I mean, my goodness, we're very fortunate to have him part of this with us. Again, Martin, thank you so much for being here. That will wrap up this episode of From the Roots Up. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening. I always forget to do this about the subscribe, like, all that stuff, share, whatever it is. Please do that. But as always, for Hickory FC, stay loud, stay proud, and keep growing from the roots up. Up the trees.
Up the
Up
trees.
the trees.